Hey, what's going on? I'm Brandon Atlanta Man Bain, coming to you live, Coach's Corner, the center of the universe, right here, Thunderbolt, Georgia. Another installment of Rubbin' and Grubbin', man. Rubbin' is racing, grubbin' is tasting. As you know, we're gonna get going tonight. Got a lot of NASCAR stuff to cover, man. Good race last weekend, man. We got a lot of stuff going down, so we're gonna get to it. So if you watch the show every Wednesday, you know now it's time for the word of the day. Last week's word of the day was throwback. LB, the producer, said I said that quite a few times, so I'm sure if you guys watch, man, you guys probably got a good little buzz going, which only makes it more enjoyable to watch a guy like me up here, right? So please, hey, drink along. It's going to be a word. Lawrence is going to put it somewhere right up here at some point in time. Whatever that word is, every time I say it during tonight's show, take a sip of your favorite adult beverage. Doesn't matter, mixed drink, beer, shots, whatever you want to do. Like I said, always age appropriate. Kids are more than welcome. Get some Kool-Aid, some sweet tea, some Mountain Dew, eat a popsicle, do whatever you want every time I say this word. If adults can play, kids can too, man. Just, you know, whatever this word is up here, every time I say it, take a sip. I'm going to do that right now. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get started right into NASCAR news of the day. Man, we got a lot of big things going on right now. Biggest news of them all, if you watch last Sunday's race, you watch Martin Truex absolutely dominate that thing. We'll get into some more details later on, but I tell you what, man, the guy is absolutely on fire right now, doing a lot of big things, doing a lot of good stuff, man. Kyle Larson again, man, I tell you what, he's on the verge of breaking loose, and, you know, we saw it earlier in Vegas. We've seen him dominate, but, man, he's very close to getting it, man, another big one. Got a couple suspensions this week, man. You know, from a couple pretty good teams out there that are going to be hurting. One due to a, you know, we'll say an illness protocol, and the other due to a suspension, man. We'll talk about it a little bit later on in the show, but we got that going down. Hey, some more big news, man. A friend of the show, IMSA racer Michael Carter, man, sporting that Coach's sponsored, you know, Mazda out there, man, MX-5 Cup. Be on the lookout for him, man. The guy is absolutely phenomenal. We pull for him hard in every race that he's got to do here. Matter of fact, you can come up here at Coach's Saturday and Sunday and catch these races. They're starting here at 11:15 each day. So if you're interested in supporting a guy, a little bit different than some NASCAR stuff, a little dirt track, little road racing type stuff. But I tell you what, at the end of the day, this kid's got an uber amount of talent, man. Coach's Corner sponsoring that car. There again, if you're interested, come out and support a local driver here at Coach's, 11:15 Saturday and Sunday, man. Definitely make sure you make that happen. And, man, we get to this Darlington recap. I tell you what, the Lady in Black strikes again, man. Quite a few big-name teams had some struggling days there. Maybe the track or maybe the car, one way or another, cost them their day. So we're gonna get into that in just a little bit. And it's going to be a great show tonight, man. Absolute great show. But, hey, thanks you guys for tuning in every week like we say, man. If you haven't, if this is the first time watching, please like, share, follow all our stuff all over social media. We got Instagram, we got Twitter, we got Facebook, we got YouTube, our own YouTube channel, man. You can go subscribe, like, share, follow. Be greatly appreciated, man. So, you know, now that we're done with all that, we're going to move right into some racing stuff, and I'm so ready for that. Man, I tell you what, it was a hell of a race at Darlington, man. Hell of a race at Darlington. So at the end of the day, we're gonna see who prevailed, things that went down, and maybe what we got to look forward to in the future there. We got one more race there coming in September, man, so gonna get even more interesting. So little Darlington recap, as I said earlier, Martin Truex Jr. absolutely goes out and dominates this whole race. I mean, hands down to me, the most absolutely dominating performance of the season yet. This guy goes out, wins all three stages, leads almost every freaking lap of the race, man. Comes out victorious with the win. I tell you what, you know, when we talk about guys that are moving in the right direction or teams that really have it together this year, that 19 over at Joe Gibbs Racing is probably the best equipment. You know, he's got a teammate out there in Denny Hamlin that, you know, kind of rivals that in a way, consistency for wins. But I tell you what, Martin Truex is showing up and getting these wins and locking these stage points in. The playoffs are going to be a huge deal for him, starting off really well. So, you know, just big congrats to Martin Truex on the win, man, but an absolutely dominating, absolutely beast mode on everybody out there on Sunday, man. What a way to drive, and congrats to all those Martin Truex Jr. fans out there that got that win, man. I tell you what, I said it earlier, this guy I think is going to be one of the guys that you really got to look out for coming into these summer months. We hit quite a few tracks in a short amount of time that really pay off to his driving style, or what we've been accustomed to his driving style, and that's going to be Kyle Larson, man. Kyle Larson in that 5, you know, everybody can say what they want about the guy, about what happened last year, you know, the suspension, you know, due to a little, you know, racial insensitivity that he had over a video game or whatever might have happened. I wasn't there, don't know all the details, but at the end of the day, lost a ride, lost a sponsor, probably one of the best wheelmen in the sport. You want to talk about a guy that can just go out and flat out drive a race car? This is one of the guys that when you sit there and say, who is a racer? This is a racer, man. Kyle Larson is absolutely phenomenal. I'm really glad he got that chance, and he's back in Hendrick equipment. And to be honest, man, when you talk about dominating, he is absolutely going out and showing speed. Now, he's not quite getting those finishes that I think he deserves to show that speed, or not quite getting as many wins as I feel like you should when you show that speed. But at the end of the day, man, you keep running like that, you're definitely going to get more wins in the future, and you are definitely going to be a contender right there when we get down to those playoffs, man. So my hat's off to a man that missed a majority of a season last year, come back in as hot as he is. That just speaks volume not only for his talent, but also what kind of equipment you're stepping in when you come over to Hendrick Motorsports, man. My favorite team, obviously. Rick Hendrick, that to me, best stuff in the sport. So, you know, that's great, man. Made a great 3-wide move. If you guys watched that race, if you haven't, go check that out, dude. Kyle Larson made a great 3-wide move through the middle of a car high and low at Darlington. And any true NASCAR fan or anybody that watches these races at Darlington, of all places, there's a very minimal space to be able to go. And I tell you what, he made it look pretty easy, man, and showed his power there. So, you know, good long-run car. You know, just didn't quite come to him, or maybe he used it up a little bit, in my opinion, there to get towards Truex there towards the end. But at the end of the day, just a strong run, man. I mean, you got there again, Kyle Busch bringing it home third. You know, there again, man, this is a guy that I said once he gets that win, he gets this going. You know, you give him momentum, you give him a, you know, a second of air to breathe, he can hold his breath for 3 minutes. I mean, that's what kind of guy this guy is, right? So now you've given him this win. Now you're giving them the confidence that they just back it up with a third-place finish here. Dude, I'm telling you right now, this guy is going to get hot. It's only a matter of time, but what a great run for him there again at the Lady in Black in Darlington, man. So just got to be watch out. Got some new sharks in the water, man. There's going to be a feeding frenzy coming up real soon, man. These points are getting harder to get, I'm telling you, as we go on. So one of my guys I'm going to give big kudos to, man, for sure, this past weekend at Darlington is going to be William Byron, man. William Byron, to me, young guy, 10 straight top 10 finishes, which we're going to get into a little bit later on the show, but that's how consistent this guy has been. I've mentioned how dominating that Kyle Larson has been all season. You know, going out and leading 280-plus laps at Atlanta, 130-plus laps at Kansas, coming here, having a really good car, trying to hunt Truex down. At the end of the day, he's led a lot of laps in a lot of races, got some finishes, had some trouble in between there. William Byron's on the other aspect of it. Got that win down there in Miami, drove the wheels off of it, got that win, locked himself in, and has just been nothing but consistent every week since. So for me, it's kind of, you know, weigh your options. You want to go out and be fast and maybe have shots at wins, have some bad finishes, or do you want to be the guy that goes out and is just consistent? And right now, consistency is paying off for William Byron, man. So to me, biggest shout of the weekend goes out to him, keeping that top 10 streak alive. We're going to get into it a little bit later on if we think he's going to keep it alive, maintaining going into Dover. My opinion on it might rival some others, but I tell you what, at the end of the day, the kid's driving the wheels off of it, man. So, you know, Chris Buescher bringing it home there again. 8th place finish, man. I tell you what, not only to mention that, you had Ryan Newman also bringing it home in 10th. To me, Roush Fenway right here is showing a little something over the last few weeks, man. I mean, both of these guys, we know Ryan Newman is a competitor, been in the sport a very long time, one of the hardest guys to pass on the track, does not make that pass easy for anybody, races everybody the same, and for him to come home, kind of build that momentum, get a top 10 finish, hey, what a great run for him. Chris Buescher, guy that has paid his dues many times in this sport, whether it been in Xfinity, whether it been in Cup Series, You know, went up, came down, came back up, showing what Roush Fenway has right now going, man, and showing honestly what kind of horsepower that they're bringing in with their motors, and you know, given the good equipment and given certain circumstances, man. I tell you what, pit crew's performing. They're building momentum. Don't count these guys out, man. They're looking pretty strong right now. So big kudos to them as well. And hey, man, it's just one of those deals. As I said earlier, man, you had some big names that had horrible finishes. So Kurt Busch, Cole Custer, and Eric Almirola rounded out the field. That means they finished 35, 36, and 37. Those were the last 3 spots in the field. That's how bad a days they had. All caught up in multiple accidents, man. Things happen. We get it. The Lady in Black always strikes, man. That is a track that I say is always, is their motto, too tough to tame. One of the staples of NASCAR, man. That's what it's all about right there, is not only having the skill, having the crew to set your car up, and also being able to understand the racetrack and maintain, man. Sometimes you can't prevent getting caught in stuff, but, you know, at the end of the day, man, it's just part of the racing deal. So really, really bad runs for those guys right there. That's really good equipment, if you ask me. 3 good equipment teams, and they're getting outperformed right now, man. So we'll have to see later on in the season what goes down. But as of right now, man, I tell you what, they are hurting a little bit, man. So we'll see if they get it together. Oh, man. Hopefully you guys are having fun, man. Cheers, you guys out there staying tuned, watching in, man. Like I said, rubbing and grubbing every Wednesday live from Coach's Corner, man. Great show, great time. Going to bring you everything new to NASCAR we got going on from the last week, and everything leading up to Sunday, man. Going to get you right. Stick with me. I promise you, man, you're going to be making some good picks out there if you're in a little fantasy league or doing a little pool. I promise you, at the end of the day, you're going to be making some money if you stick with me, man. So just keep watching. Got a lot more information to go over tonight, man, but greatly appreciate you guys tuning in. So just to run the point standings real quick, man, Denny Hamlin, no surprise, still leading that regular point season, but I tell you what, it is dwindling really fast to the 19 of Martin Truex, man. Had a pretty good secure lead going in the last couple weeks. Truex goes out and get those big wins, man. I'm telling you, at the end of the day, that lead is shrinking. Man, that one isn't the important one. It's the next one I'm going to mention that's the real important one, and that's the playoff standings. And Martin Truex right now is killing it, absolutely killing it. 3 stage wins this last weekend and a race win. 3 race wins, sweeping all stages, plus other stage wins. He's got a good cushion going into these playoffs. As of right now, we're not even all the way close yet, man. We still got like 14 races coming in. You know, I mean, you still got a long time to go. This guy could build a cushion without these other drivers getting some wins. He could build a very good cushion, man, to secure himself very, very easily into deep rounds of this playoff. So it's just something to keep an eye on, man. As I always like to mention the bubble. We talked about it last week. Matty D had brought himself back from the dead, put himself inside that top 16. Unfortunately, right now, he is outside of the bubble in 17th. Tyler Reddick makes the cut right there at 16th, and it's in a tie. So I think it's going to go to the best placed finisher at a certain race, and I mean, we're just going to have to see how it goes. We still got a lot of races, but like I said, always like to keep an eye. You got another couple guys right below them and one right ahead of Reddick that are very close within striking distance. So some of these teams have a couple bad runs through these next 12 weeks, 14 weeks. It's going to get interesting, man, so it's always fun to watch the bubble. But that's your point standings, man. Moving right into checkered flag for charity. You guys know this is one of my favorite things. This is the whole reason why we do this show up here. You know, not only to bring you the NASCAR news and to bring you some good grub here from coaches, man, but it's also to help a local charity or a local cause that we find charitable, man. So this year, as you guys know, if you've tuned in, it's going to be for Help Save One of Our Own. That is a local community based out of here in Savannah, Georgia, helping families, you know, every year, whether it be, you know, medical issues, whether it be horrible things that happen that we can't prevent. But at the end of the day, these guys are always there to help out. So this year we decided, as the Rubbin' and Grubbin' crew and other shows here at Coaches, all some charity stuff that we're doing is going to proceed to help them help somebody else, right? So we can't do that without you guys. As we say all the time, does not matter if it's nickels, pennies, dimes, 10s, 20s, 150s. Bring it up to Coaches next time you're here, man. Make a little donation to help save one of your own. All it does is go back to help a family in need in our community. makes you feel good, and at the end of the day, man, we're doing just and doing what we can to help bring everybody up, man. So like I said, throw a little small donation, help save one of our own, man, and like I said, big shout out to them as well. Thank you guys for everything you do for everybody out there, man, and big shout out to the viewers, because we can't make that possible without you, man. So like I said, you know, really not bad, man. $3,049 so far through, you know, 13 races when you count what we do. Hey, man, you know, that's what it is. As you know, we donate every week to Checkered Flag for Charity, the car number that wins the race. The 19 won the race. That's never good enough. If it's below that 20 car number, man, we're always going to donate 20. So there's 21 in there so far. For me saying my curse word, that's always a donation as well. Like I said, anytime you come up here, donate anything you can, does not matter. All goes to the same place, all for a great cause, y'all. We're going to move right on in, man, to who's hot and who's not. This is one of my favorite parts of the show. Love to talk about who's building momentum. Love to talk about who is losing momentum. Love to talk about who's kind of right there in the medium, heating up or getting cold, man. So we're going to go ahead and get right on into that as well. All right. So if you've been watching, you already know Martin Truex has got to be #1 on the Who's Hot list. This guy is absolutely heating up, man. 3 wins this season. Just swept every stage at Darlington. Almost led every lap. He led a shit ton of laps on there. And I'm going to throw another dollar in there. Absolutely most dominating performance we saw all season long. JGR has got their stuff together, whether it be, I mean, it doesn't matter what stall you're looking at, whether it's the 11, the 19, the 18, or the 20. All got wins on the season. All turning around, you know, winning multiple races in Martin Truex. Denny Hamlin getting top 5 streaks running. Kyle Busch getting a win. Christopher Bell locking himself in early in the season. These guys are showing out, man. So that Toyota team right there is very strong, man, and it just goes out when you see a guy like Martin Truex Jr. absolutely dominate the field. So coming on to Dover, another one of his really good tracks, man. Got some wins there. You know, it means a lot to him. I want to say he might have got one of his first wins there. I know it was, if not his first, it was one of his very, very first few races he won. He got at Dover. So, you know, going back to a place that probably means a lot to him. And I tell you what, man, don't count him out this Sunday to go ahead and get another win. If they unload, starting from the pole, if they unload, hey, man, I'm telling you, he's got a really good shot at getting it done. You know, another guy, like I said, is going to kind of take over too for me, move up a little bit. That's going to be William Byron, man. I said it earlier in the show. We talked about it. 10 straight top 10 finishes. Youngest guy to ever do it, or second youngest, I don't know. I know it's really close. I know Jeff Gordon was the youngest to ever go 10 straight top 10s. I think William Byron might have got him by a few days or a couple months, or it might be the other way around. But at the end of the day, William Byron running 10 straight top 10 finishes, man. So this is a guy over at Hendrick Motorsports that's got it going on. As we said earlier, Kyle Larson is sitting here absolutely dominating races, leading a lot of laps, got the win at Vegas. You know, probably should have had a one in Atlanta. Kansas arguably could have had one again here. Who knows, you know, but at the end of the day, they're just not quite getting that finish to showing how dominating or fast they are, kind of losing it in the later stages of the races. This is a guy that pretty much comes out and performs every single week consistently, as he had since he got his win in Miami. So William Byron doing what he does, hey, man, I think it's amazing. I think Dover is also another really good racetrack for him. He's kind of had a bag of mixed emotions there, but I kind of like him as well at Dover this week, man. So we're going to have to wait and see what he can get done or what he can do. But at the end of the day, we just got to see what he can get done, man. Rounding out the who's hot, man, I tell you what, Denny Hamlin had a bad week. Now we're back to having a decent week right here at Darlington. I tell you what, man, I still got to keep him in there just for the simple fact he's leading the regular season points. The win's coming. It's got to be coming, man, but it's got to be time to go out and get this done. As we get later in these summer months, anything can happen. Somebody can get hot, win multiple races, you know, as we're seeing in Martin Truex. It could be a different driver, if not the same driver, which only hurts his chances at getting in or not getting this win. So for me, it's more about team morale right now other than anything else. Go out and show that the hard work you're putting in and these top 5s and top 3s and top 10s that you're getting, go out and get that one win and show them that all that works for something other than that. So, you know, we got to wait and see over the next couple weeks. Dover, I think, is a mixed bag of emotions for him as well. Got a win there last year, shortened race a little bit, and, you know, had some success in the past, not so much in the recent future. So it's just something you got to keep up with. But I think there again, probably could go out and get a win maybe at Dover this week, man. All right. Who's cold, man? Who's not, man? Joey Logano right now is having some big issues, man. I feel like he started the season out being very consistent, going to some of his better racetracks, you know, got that win on the Bristol Dirt Race, you know, had to hype the emotions. But to me, that's a one-of-a-kind race, right? You're not racing on dirt anywhere else all season. So really it's more about the consistency of where you finish at the Atlantas and where you finish at the Richmonds and where you finish at the Martinsvilles and where you finish at a lot of these 1.5 mile and short tracks that you know you're going to be racing, if not twice, very similar tracks later on in the season. So for me to watch him right now, they're kind of struggling a little bit, you know. I mean, like I said, you know, not where you would expect him to run the last couple of weeks. You'd expect him to be out there contending for a win as always. But, you know, stuff happens. They're kind of working some grillings out, I feel like. We'll see if he can get back on the who's hot list. But right now he's not. And also it does not help crew chief being suspended, man. We'll get into that just a little bit later on. But you're losing a big piece of one of the brightest minds to me in the sport. And I've said it since he came in, and I'll continue to say it. But anyways, we'll get into that in just a little bit. But that kind of hurts him as well. Eric Almirola, I mean, personally, I like the guy. I think he's a really cool personality. I think he's a great guy. You watch what he does, and you know, a family guy, a couple young kids and cute kids, and you know, very, very talented, obviously. Otherwise, he wouldn't be out there racing. But I tell you what, if this 10 team can't get this figured out, I don't know if it's going to be a complete overhaul of the team itself, or if it's going to be the firing and hiring of a driver or a new driver. But at the end of the day, Eric Almirola's got to get it together, man. I mean, finished dead last this weekend at Darlington, has struggled all season long. One good run that comes to my mind. He's got to get it together. And I hate to say it, it's just kind of how the sport goes. You know, when you're running cold and you have some good, bad, and ugly mixed in, there's a lot of guys that are younger than you that will bring that right back, you know, rejuvenated young talent into a seat. So, not that that has paid off, because as you can see, you know, it's not like Cole Custer and Chase Briscoe are going out and burning the wheels off of it either. And we've also seen Kevin Harvick struggle, which is a surprise. But something's awry over there at Stewart Haas. I don't know what it is. But I can guarantee you at the end of the day, another really good, strong Ford team, they're going to get it together. I mean, they're going to eventually hit on something, get it kind of figured out, and go from there. But Almirola's got to get that together, man. Got to get some consistent finishes, bringing that car home top 15, let's say, for the next 5 weeks. Just build some momentum, man. He's got to have something go his way. Got to have a good run. Just build momentum back into that team. Get those guys re-energized to be part of that team. Get the ball rolling in the right direction, man. And last but not least, the opposite of his brother, Mr. Kurt Busch. Another guy, veteran in the sport, past champion over there at Ganassi. You got Ross Chastain jumping into that 42 that you know is going to take some growing pains for him to figure this out. Has driven in a few, you know, cup races in the past before he got into this. But right now, not so much, you know, and there again, kind of getting it together over the past couple months. If you kind of take a look at the 42, it's been a pretty decent little run, man. But Kurt Busch right now, man, I tell you what, you know, showing some good signs there, having some good equipment, but making some mistakes and making some bad moves at the wrong times. This weekend at Darlington kind of got a little crazy right there, got a little loose, lost it. Cost him probably a decent finish, I would say. Maybe not a great finish, man. But, you know, this is the same thing I talked about last week. When you look at Ganassi Racing, it's Chip Ganassi, you know, putting more eggs into the basket of 2022, bringing that new gen car in, as he is to 2021, and maybe trying to reset there again, another team reset, which I think you probably will see at Ganassi. I don't know about Ross Chastain. And we all know if you're a fan of the sport over the last few years, it's become more about what sponsorship you bring with you. And I know Kurt Busch, you know, and the Monster and the other multiple sponsors that he has, you know, is valuable as far as that goes. And I think he's got an amazing amount of talent. He got a win last year. You know, I'm pretty sure it was at Kentucky, or maybe it was the year before, but he won Kentucky, I'm pretty sure, last year. So, you know, got a win. I just want to see more consistency, and I think a lot of that not only has to do with maybe, you know, some program issues they're having over there at Ganassi, but also how hungry is Kurt Busch to go out and still get these wins. You know, I mean, he's getting older, later on in his career, past champion. We just got to wait and see, man. But that's going to wrap it up for who's hot and who's not. Hope you guys are enjoying the show so far, man. Thank you guys so much for staying tuned, enjoying, as always, man. Big shout out to John and Dale Henderson. Like I say all the time, this is not possible without them. They allow me to come up. They allow us to do this show right here, you know, help raise money for a good cause, and also at the same time, give all those NASCAR fans a little bit of NASCAR news, our style, our way, live right here at Coach's, man. So greatly appreciated. So we're getting it right in, man. Big shout out to our main sponsor, man, my buddy Parker Eccles, man, over there at Arbor Man Tree Service. You can catch it scrolling at the bottom of the screen throughout the show. But I tell you what, man, he does a huge amount for us up here as far as charity and what we're able to do on our show, man. So big shout out to my buddy Parker. As I say all the time, if you guys need any kind of tree service done, you know, need a tree removed, some stump grinding, just need an estimate on maybe trimming something back, man, before hurricane season gets here, make sure you give Parker Eccles a call over there, Arbor Man Tree Service, man. He's definitely going to give you a good hookup, local guy, raised here, man, knows his stuff, a big member of the community, man. So definitely, like I said, give him a call, going to take care of you. No job too big, too small, no tree too tall. Make sure you give Parker a call, man. I say it every week. He loves it. I love it, man. I ran into him Saturday going down to work, man, at my second little gig. So, you know, we always have fun. That's my brother from another mother right there, man. Love you, brother. Thank you for everything you do for us, man. So, man, I tell you what, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty right here. We're getting into Dover, the Monster Mile, brother. Man, I tell you what, this is one of my favorite races of the year again. I probably got 5 that are on my list. Atlanta's number 1, obviously. Go there every year, catch it in person. I think it's cool. Old school, tire shredder. Now we're getting into something totally different, man. Concrete Mile, the Monster Mile, brother. Changed over the years. We kind of seeing some different things with these newer cars that come in than what we used to see at Dover. But I tell you what, still one of the most exciting races to me. Very fast, very violent, very aggressive race right here coming up to you. The in-car views and what you see that these guys go through and how quick a lap goes by here and how intense a lap is here absolutely blows my mind. One of my favorite races always seems to be multi-grooved, always seems to come down to a later run, somebody that's faster on the long run, somebody that's good on the short run, whether it's a late restart or whether it's a long 50-lap run to the end right there. Doesn't matter either way, it puts on a great show, man, so super excited about Dover. The Monster Mile, brother. You know, like I said, one of the only couple concrete tracks that we run on every year. This thing rubbers up in different ways. You know, it's a little different with no practice, but you got a couple races coming on before them, so definitely going to have some rubber on that track. Barring any bad weather up there and having to clean it up. So it should make a very interesting race on Sunday. You know, last year we watched this. It was different scheduled coming back from the pandemic. Let's see, this year it's going to be we got it right here, the Drydyne 400. Last year was the Drydyne 311. So this race was shortened by, you know, what's that, 89 laps right there? Or, yeah, it's a mile track, 89 laps. So you saw Denny Hamlin come home victorious last year. Now we're adding another 89 back to it, a full 400 laps here. Man, 24-degree banking, very aggressive, very fast. We're going to see what happens, man. And one of my favorite things about this track is it's so self-cleaning, right? So when these guys wash up and they hit the wall up high, they come down immediately down to that apron. They wash down off this track very fast. So it causes for mayhem on very narrow front stretch. You watch these guys come off turns, you watch them have their wrecks, and the next thing you know, 5, 6, 7 cars back are having to duck and dodge 3 or 4 cars that are all turned in the wrong direction. So, you know, something to watch out for, man. Here's another big shout out that I feel like we do not do this long enough or enough in this show, and we honestly don't do this in enough NASCAR shows, man, is pay homage to people that are, you know, recently retired but are legends of the sport. So I got to do it right here when we come to Dover. Hey, man, all-time winner Jimmy Johnson right here coming into Dover has 11 wins in a career at one track, man. Let that soak in for a minute. 11 wins right here at Dover by Jimmy Johnson. For a lot of those wins, absolutely dominating performances, killing it. Great equipment. I mean, at one point in time back in his heyday, him and Chad Knaus, you could not touch them, man. It rivals my favorite guy, Gordon and Ray Evernham, but we just, didn't get to see the future that we saw out of Chad and Jimmy with Ray and Gordon, Ray and Jeff. But at the end of the day, I think had those two stayed together, these numbers right here might be dismal as well. But 11 wins at Dover. So, like I said, want to pay homage to a legend that I feel like we're not doing that enough. Whether it be me on this show or whether it be numerous national broadcast shows, we don't give Jimmy Johnson enough credit for the things that he did, man. Just want to pay it forward, man. But hey, as I said, going into Dover, big news: Joey Logano and Brad Keselowski both without a crew chief this week. Joey Logano and Paul Wolfe, being suspended for a lug nut violation found after that Darlington race. And I tell you what, Paul Wolfe, to me, as I said, that is one of the brightest, greatest minds in the sport right now. I said it from day one when he came in. It was with Keselowski in the two. And just the pit strategy and the calls that they make and the way that he planned for races, to me, was not comparison his mind to another mind, but just the way they go about and they execute would be the Chad Knaus-ish. Just kind of a guy that plans a little different, not scared to do something different, outside the box, and it all works out for him, and that's how Paul Wolfe is. So that's going to hurt Logano here coming into Dover, man. We're going to have to see and wait. Obviously, we know Paul Wolfe's going to set that car up for him, but at track, what changes they make after that first stage, second stage, and into that final stage, it's going to come on a new set of shoulders, man, and we're going to see if he can live up to the hype and make the right calls. And, Brad Keselowski, without his, due to a protocol for an illness, not released, whether it was COVID-19 related or whether it's something more like the flu or a flu bug that's, they don't want to pass around through a team in the sensitive state that we're in the NASCAR garage and still kind of coming out of as a world. So just there again, got to wait and see what's going on with that. But that's going to hurt both those teams this weekend, man. You can guarantee that 100%. Hey, man, moving right in, 5 winners in the last 5 races. This is kind of something different as well. A lot of tracks don't have that. You had Denny Hamlin last year, Kyle Larson in 19. You got Martin Truex, Elliott, and Harvick have all won a race in the past 5 races held at Dover. So can it be a 6 different winner right here at Dover in the last 5 years? A couple names out there. Or is it going to be one of these guys right here, man? We just got to wait and see. But I thought that was interesting. 5 different winners, last 5 races there at Dover, man. So breaking down the stages for you. Stage 1 is going to be 120 laps. Stage 2 will be 120 laps. Moving into that final stage of 160 laps to do 400 laps total, man. I tell you what, 400 laps at Dover's got to be pretty intense. It's, like I said, one of my favorite races, the Monster Mile, brother. You guys definitely need to tune into that, catch that. Got this on my bucket list of tracks to go and check out one day. We'll definitely see Atlanta, man, at some point in time in Dover, probably flying the Atlanta flag, but I'll be in Dover, Delaware, checking this race out, man. It's definitely going to happen some point in time, man. Whew. Hope you guys are still staying tuned, man, enjoying the show. Like I said, getting you live action for everything, man. Cheers to you guys out there, man. Top 5 picks for the week. This should come as no surprise to anybody that's been keeping up with the sport over the last month. Obviously, number 1 on my list this week has got to be Mr. MTJ, Martin Truex Jr. himself. That 19 Joe Gibbs Toyota is just absolutely on fire. As I said earlier, pretty sure he got his first win here at Dover. If not, I know it was in the first few. Multiple-time winner at Dover. Guy seems to have a knack for it. Not only does he have the hottest ride right now and what's going on in that shop, but also a guy that's got great experience here at Dover. So I expect him of anybody to go out and get the job done. If I was a betting man, which I kind of am, a little game of skill, if I had a chance to take whoever, I'm taking the 19 first this week now. Very close to that. Yeah, Lawrence got some money in his pocket from last week, which I'm kind of heard about that. Not that I had a shot, but yeah, that's how it happens. I don't think I've won with Truex yet this year. So, hey, number 2 is a guy that I expect. This rivaled the number 1 pick, just kind of to swap things up a little bit different, man. The 5 car there again of Kyle Larson, as I said, dude, Kyle Larson absolutely on fire, dominating, leading laps, just not getting the wins, not getting the job done. So it's got to happen for him. What a better place than Dover. Got to win there 2019. With the way he's been showing up and racing in these races, not to say he can't get it done there. So that's number 2 for me. Number 3, another guy that was on the hot list, rounding it out, got to be Denny Hamlin. Won this race last year, a little bit of a shortened race just to kind of get it in, getting back to the normality after the, COVID off-lay or layoff, if you would, of the sport. So coming back, got the win. Look for the 11 car to have a really good run there at Dover. Teammate to that 19. You can believe they're sharing information somewhat throughout that shop. Maybe not every detail and everything that you got going down, but you can best believe you're going to help your teammates run a little bit better than what they've been running as well, man. So something interesting to keep an eye on. 4 for me, man, I tell you what, it's hard for me not to do it, but I got to take Chase Elliott, man. One of his best racetracks we're coming to at Dover. I think it just kind of fits his driving style, the feel for the race car, maybe how it feels on the wheel compared to some others. But I tell you what, I look out for my boy Chase Elliott to go out and get that job done, man. Come bring home that first win for us, man. We're waiting, man. It's got to happen. I'd rather it happen at Dover than on a road course, because all people are going to do is tell you and us how you just win road courses and yada, yada, yada. And I'm not down with that no more. So go get the job done at Dover for me, man. Please, sir. Thank you. And 5 for me. I said I wasn't going to do this, man, but it's really hard to come up with 5, and there's 2 guys that I feel like have a great equal opportunity here. One of the guys I talked about earlier in the show, being that 24 car of William Byron, I think that guy has an amazing chance to go out and get another win here at Dover. I think he showed up with really good race cars in the past, maybe just inexperience cost him the race, cost him a good finish. I think he's kind of got that experience now, got the momentum built up. Rudy Fugle and him, I'm telling you, right now are killing it. I watched the thing earlier, it kind of made me sad, like, a power ranking backseat driver. Look, man, it might be a new crew chief over there in the Cup Series, but they have experience from that Truck Series and getting wins there, which to me, the communication is key. Whether it's a truck or whether it's Xfinity or whether it's Cup car or whether it's a tricycle in the backyard, man. If you can relate to me what I can do as your crew chief to make you drive that car better, that's all that matters to me, man. So at the end of the day, like I said, might be somewhat of a new team, a new combo in the Cup, but not a new sense of where you guys are. And rivaling that, tying for the 5th, has got to be Kevin Harvick. Hasn't come out and dominated the way you would expect him to at least one race this year, but coming back to Dover, you've seen him lead a lot of laps here over the numerous years, man. So at the end of the day, I think that's another guy you got to keep an eye on. Getting into those dark horses, guy that's had a really good run over the past few weeks, building that momentum. Roush Fenway, number 17, man. That Roush Racing, I'm telling you, Chris Buescher, man, is bringing it back strong, showing what they got going on over there at Roush, and supporting that team, which in my day was a power team, man. I mean, you had so many guys that raced there. At one time, I think he had 5 or 6 cars on the track on one team. For me, it's a power team that I want to see come back to the full capability, kind of like the Richard Petty Motorsports. You want to see them come back just because of what they've done and who they are for the sport. So to see Chris Buescher have a really good run, building that momentum, got to take him as a dark horse. Now, I'm going to stick with a guy who kind of disappointed me last week over there at Darlington, but I got to stick with the Trackhouse 99 and Daniel Suarez, man. I think those guys are doing big things and on to only bigger things as we get later on in the season. So I got to stay with them again, running strong for those dark horse. So those are a couple dark horse picks, man. So if you guys been watching, take those top 5 in, soak it in, man. Apply it where need be, or put it into some of the feelings that you're feeling out there. Write me your top 5, man. I'd love to hear somebody's top 5 they got this week at Dover. Do that. We'll go back and forth about what you got and what I got and why and what. Hey, but at the end of the day, those are my top 5, man. Live by it and die by it, man. All right. So that brings me into my second favorite part of the show, and it's not the rubbing part, it's the grubbing part, man. Tonight, I got a good treat that I love having up here at Coach's, man. It is a really, really good little meal, good little sandwich, man. We got the club coming in. I got a good buddy of ours up here at Rubbin' Grubbin', comes up every week, huge supporter of the show. a good buddy of mine, Tom, is bringing in, man. He's got the club sandwich, and what we got, tots, right? With some tots,
with
man.
Some tots.
With some tots. Check this out, man.
You want some ketchup?
Oh, no, I'm going to wait. I'm going to hold off till we get done, man, but just want to show everybody, man, this club, I tell you what, is absolutely amazing every time. Good buddy Tom, huge supporter of Rubbin' and Grubbin', man. Absolutely love him. Tom, thank you so much for bringing it up, man. Thank you for your support, brother. Really appreciate you. So as soon as we get off the air, man, I'll be tearing this up. I'm telling you right now, I do not play with this, man. So you got 4 sandwiches. Actually, they're skewered together, but you got basically a whole club sandwich, man, cut down into square or into triangles there. 25s, man. Great sandwich, great meal. Moving right on, man. Shout out to all the big shows right here live at Coach's Corner, the center of the universe, right here on Coach's Sport Network, man. Coach Carl DeMasi and the AD Chad Griffin, man, bringing it back. Don't know when, but they got some shows coming up. Eventually going to hit the airwaves, man, and do their thing. Absolutely love supporting those guys. Those are 2 of my favorite people right here, keeping you up everything local that's going on with our sports, man. You know, not only to mention that, you got Hot Grits out there, the podcast with Travis and Spencer doing their thing on the airwaves out there on Spotify, man. You can check them out. Hadn't seen those guys in a while. Really hope they make it back up to coaches soon to, you know, show some support and, you know, just kind of shoot the crap with everybody up here, man. Missing you guys. Hope you guys are holding it down, doing good. Coach Carl also has a baseball show comes on with Kyle Lawson, man, bringing you everything MLB news, obviously keeping you up to date with those Braves and everything that's going on in their situation. Also talking Bananas baseball, man, which I absolutely love. Absolutely love Savannah Banana games, man. They are absolutely amazing, awesome. You know, just another staple of a great hostess city that we live in Savannah, Georgia. Hop, skip, and a jump away from Coach's Corner is Grayson Stadium where they throw their thing. So, hey, if you're out at Grayson, want to stop by and get something to eat other than that, the ballpark, come to Coach's, man. It's right down the road, man. Hey, Green White Checker, big shout out to PJ Zuko and everything you do, brother. Big shout out to you, man. Thanks for having it on the air, man. If you hadn't been able to catch it, every Sunday morning, 9 o'clock, 104.3 ESPN Radio. You catch me and PJ Zuko going over everything NASCAR, getting you prepped for that Sunday race day, man. You know, we talk about a little bit of stuff up here, but we also bring a couple different perspectives in to some new stuff that's happening right before that race gets started on Sunday, man. Great show. So if you hadn't tuned in yet, definitely show your support. Tune in. Like I said, 104.3. You can even catch it on SoundCloud. You can even catch it on ESPN's Facebook page, ESPN Coastal's Facebook page as well, man. Same with Rubbin' and Grubbin'. Catch it on their ESPN Coastal Facebook page as well, man. Every Wednesday, 6 o'clock, right here at Coach's, man. Biggest thing I can say to you guys, man, I'm going to get off here. I'm going to enjoy this club sandwich. Everybody, I hope you guys had a great Mother's Day last weekend. Get ready for this Dover race. You know, we're finding our way out of this pandemic, man. Keep doing the things you've been doing. Love, hug, and kiss all your family out there, man. Hey, and the best thing you can do until then is mask up, stay safe. And as always, wash your hands, y'all. Love y'all. See you next week. Hey, Monster Mile. Totally forgot it. Miles, the coolest trophy probably in NASCAR, coming to you from Dover this weekend. The Monster Mile, brother.